The man is publicly reviled.
And I will be too.
Yes, in more ignorant quarters, but that's exactly why this has to be done, and capably done.
Wow, now, so we're all right. So, well, Grandma, what did you think of Bridge of Spies?
Well, Steven Spielberg did an excellent job, again, of telling a very complicated story and helping us, the audience, to follow what was happening. They recreated the world of the 50s quite well. I remember, having lived through the 50s, I remember all this happening, and Francis Gary Powers, and all of the talk about what in the world was going to happen to him, and I didn't remember so much about the spy from the Russians, but I remembered the name when they started the story. Oh yeah, I remember that. It was beautifully well done, I thought, and of course Tom Hanks was perfect in the role of the stand-up man. The stand-up man representing the United States' best qualities in the pursuit of justice and equal treatment for everyone. I thought the story was very well done, and had no complaints about any of the actors.
I mean, I'm a fan of history. I've studied history and such, but I can't not see that anybody who is not interested in it, or is not interested in history, would be interested in this movie at all. It is very, very slow, because basically what you're doing is crossing sort of the legal process with Soviet bureaucracy. And the legal process alone is slow, and then you cross it with the bureaucracy, everything is slow. So the whole movie is just very slow. Again, he has to go through all these steps to get the prisoners exchanged.
I think that was the point, though.
Well, no, I mean, again,
how difficult it was.
That can't be any different.
Right.
But I'm just saying, again, if you are not interested in that sort of thing, that you're not going to be interested in this movie, because the nature of this film is for it to be like that, and that is just very slow, very methodical, and I wouldn't say it was boring, but again, for anybody who isn't interested in history, isn't interested in the Cold War, isn't, has some sort of knowledge even of this time and the things that going on, they're not going to be interested in this at all, because it's very, very slow, and it's just again a bunch of lawyers talking to bureaucrats, talking to soldiers, talking to CIA agents. There's almost no action in the movie. I mean, it's not an action movie. It's not that type of movie. But again, if you're not interested in that, you're not going to find this interesting. I mean, I found it interesting. I can't say that I thought it was one of Steven Spielberg's better movies. I mean, I just don't think it was. But it was...
Maybe it was more interesting to me because I remember the intensity of the panic, the feel among ordinary Americans in this Cold War and this business. We had been introduced to the atomic world. We had seen the films of the atomic war possibilities, and I remember those duck and cover films from school.
Oh, I mean,
I remember all of that. So I
remember some of that. I remember all of that too. I mean, again, I was
really caught up with it.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't.
And Tom Hanks' son having okay, we got to have the water in the bathtub.
Mhm.
He had learned his lesson well, but I remember the intensity of the passion. You know, Francis Gary Powers was shot down, and oh no, you know, this is going to bring on the war that we all know can happen, and we did. We knew that could happen. I don't agree that folks wouldn't enjoy it if they weren't interested in history. I think just the difficulty of what he was trying to accomplish, our lawyer, Mr. Hanks, played, and how determined he was. I thought all of that was engrossing, even if it hadn't been true. Knowing that it was true, that he just would not compromise in the goal that he was after.
Well, again, this is another example of one of these films, though, where we know how it comes out. So, again, there's not any sort of real drama, any real tension. Again, you know that his task is difficult. You know it's not going to be easy for him. But in the end, you know he's going to succeed because, again, we know what history tells us how all of this came out. So, again, it's hard to say. I think that there's much tension at all in the film. I think that you didn't really. I mean, as it is, the movie is more than 2 hours long, but you didn't get to know the characters, I think, well enough for the characters alone to be enough to pull you through the movie. Again, I think that the focus of the movie is probably more on the, again, events, the situation that they're in, than it really is on the characters.
On the people.
I mean, again, if they would have needed you to have invested more in these characters to be able to say otherwise. And again, if people don't know the history, again, I don't think that they're going to be interested in it. That's just my opinion. I mean, again, the production and everything is very, very, very impressive. It's, again, for those who are interested in that time, again, it's interesting to see that and see the way it looks and the way everybody is at that time, how they were living and everything. That's all very interesting. But again, I don't think that the movie was that dramatic or involving, really, for me or for a lot of people. Even though, again, I'm a fan of history, that's not enough for me to recommend it. I don't think. But
well,
you think different.
Not agreeing with you.
That's all right.
Grandma thought it was very, very gripping and very interesting and very well acted. And
it's got your thumbs.
It has my thumbs. It has both of my thumbs up. I thought it was a wonderful film. And I disagree with you in the fact that I think everyone should see it. Yes.
Okay.
I think everyone should see it.